All right, hey guys, it's David. Who else would it be? And this is the holiday period. We are close to the new year, and I think it's pretty common for people during that time of year to start reflecting on the year that they've had and also to think about what they want to accomplish in the year coming up. And, I guess because life goes in cycles, it's a normal part of life to go through these sort of periods of assessment, at least when you have the time. Back in caveman days, I don't think they had a lot of time to think about this stuff. They had to go think about where they were going to find the next woolly mammoth for dinner. But anyway, the next little while, the next few days, I'm going to try and concentrate on the mindset area of your acting career. So right now I just want to talk about how and who is in charge of our lives. And I think we would all say, well, we're in charge of our lives, but a lot of us act like maybe someone else is in charge. So the reason why this came up is because the other day I was running late for an audition. And as I was approaching the audition, I was thinking, oh, what excuse could I use, in case they ask for one? Now, of course, running late, I'm already getting paranoid, like as if they're going to ask why I'm late. But I think I was also thinking of that it was a way of making an excuse for myself. It's a way to not feel bad about myself for doing something that I know is wrong. I know I shouldn't be late for the audition, but I am late. And I'm just making up excuses that I can actually start to believe myself, even as I'm telling them to the casting director or the producer. I know they're not true, but I think you come up with these excuses. Well, the traffic was bad. I mean, as soon as you see a little bit of traffic, you can go, oh, the traffic was terrible. So anyway, I think this is probably a common problem. Maybe not with some people, but it is with me. So if this makes sense to anyone else, then hopefully this will be useful. I don't know if you're like me, but as soon as you create a task for yourself, you need to start to prepare for that task and think about all the roadblocks that might get in your way or probably will get in your way. And then you need to come up with ways to avoid them. If it's a morning appointment, then think of the traffic or the parking or the public transportation situation. We put ourselves in vexing situations, making ourselves rush so that we arrive unprepared, we're flustered, we're not feeling good because we're thinking about, oh, we're late. And that's a form of self-sabotage. And that's an obvious form, but a lot of us have many other ways of self-sabotaging. So what that really is just a way to ensure that we fail, or at least it's a very good attempt at failing, because we don't want to make it too obvious that we're trying to make ourselves fail. We just add a few gremlins in the machine. And when you do that, you're making it basically as hard as possible for people to hire you. And that's either by being late or by missing an appointment or blaming your kids or your job or your family or your friends. Or the worst thing of all is just saying that you're too busy, like too busy to prepare, too busy to make the audition. There's no such thing as too busy. Too busy is a general term that people in the world use to make themselves feel better about their lives. And it makes them feel better about saying no. It manages their level of guilt. Because they can just say, oh, I'm super busy. What does busy mean? Take a look at your life and count how many things you absolutely have to do, okay? So that you are too busy to do what it is you need to do or what you're supposed to do to get ahead in the career or the field that you've chosen. Now, most of our lives are filled with things we have created for ourselves. Okay, busy doesn't come out of nowhere. The only time busy comes out of nowhere is if you're breaking rocks in a prison chain gang where someone else is telling you what to do with your day, okay? The rest of us have made conscious choices, for the most part, to be busy, doing this or that or the other. Even if you work a factory job to support yourself and your family, there's got to be hours in a day when you could dedicate to your acting skills, taking classes, whatever it is. Okay? So look, we create things, especially those of us who are, semi not affluent, but people that have free time. Instead of dedicating ourselves to things that we want to get ahead in life, we choose to do things like hobbies. We go to the gym, we're cooking, we're dining out, we're going to bars, etc. So look, if you can't do something because you're too busy doing something else that you choose to do, then don't complain. Just drop enough things to free up the time that you need to do what you really want. And if you can't do that, then you really need to think about what it is you really want. Because you cannot get what you really want in life if you fill your time with stuff that really doesn't contribute anything. Like if you're too busy shopping or you're too busy taking your kids to 85 different activities. Okay, your kids don't need to go to 85 different activities. It doesn't make them better people. It just makes them confused. Let them pick one and get really good at it, okay? And the same thing with you. Pick one thing and get really good at it. That's how you get ahead in life. Because by having your kids doing 85 different things, what are you teaching them? That they shouldn't focus on anything. They should just try everything. That's a luxury most of us can't afford. That's, the idle rich, they can try everything. But it doesn't lead to any long-lasting results. It doesn't lead to any kind of expertise. Okay, so if you want to become an expert, especially if you want to make a living at something, you need to become an expert at it. So free up that time that you have and get to work and don't make excuses for yourself, okay? I think that's a great goal going forward, is to never use the term, I'm too busy. It's what you tell your friends if you don't want to meet up with them. Oh, I don't really like that guy. I'll just say I'm too busy to come over to his house to play poker. Okay, this is an excuse you use with people when you don't really want to tell them that you don't like them. Don't use it on yourself, okay? Because guess what? You're telling yourself that you don't really like yourself because you know what you want to do, and yet you're making excuses not to do it. So I guess you don't really care about yourself. You'd rather fill your day with things that don't lead anywhere. Okay, guys, so great New Year's resolution to have is never use the words, I'm too busy, on yourself, because you know it's not true. Okay, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you inside.